Hello everyone, what's happening? This is Forgo, and since we have to tier 3 Starlord to be able to get Beta Ray Bill, we all saw how strong Beta Ray is. He's freaking amazing. Is tier 3 Starlord very strong? How good is he? And that's the questions we're going to answer today. So let's take a look at my build. He has 43,290 energy attack. He has 129 attack speed, pretty close to almost max attack speed. He has 32 crit rate, he has 187 critical damage, and he has 46% ignore defense. These are not optimal stats, and he has max skill cooldown. He also, something to take note of, is he also has the Weapons Master tag, which means you can use Taskmaster with him. He has no Uru's gears are 20. I do plan on taking his gears up to 25. I am feeling pretty salty against Netmarble for doing this, for making us tier 3 in a character and not even putting him at 25. But that's neither here nor there. I've already said my piece about it. I don't want to egg it on, but I will take him up to 25. I will put Urus on him when it comes to tier 3s. I always try to level them up. But for today's run, I just want to show all of you where he's at in the game as far as world boss content is concerned with this build. Now let's take a look at this guy. You know, his tier 3 has all defense down that starts off at 30%, that stacks up to 70%. This is absolutely wonderful. It lasts for 10 seconds, applies to world boss. This is massive. He gets a crit damage buff, he gets a crit rate buff, he has ignore target dodge rate by 80%, which is pretty cool. And he has penetration everything for 8 seconds, 80% chance. He gets 8 seconds invincibility, 8 seconds to remove all debuff. He has a 50% all attack buff, and he has a crit rate buff by 30% for 8 seconds. So his crit rate's pretty much, well, he gets guaranteed crit rate by 40%, which is kind of weird because he gets guaranteed critical rate from his passive. Yeah, that's kind of weird. He already gets guaranteed critical rate by 30%, but I guess he gets the 40% guaranteed critical rate, which is going to give him a higher chance of getting a critical hit, which is good for doing some critical damage. You got 10% critical damage increase here. That's nice. And then the 1 skill, nothing there. The 2 skill, nothing there. The 3 skill has an all defense down. It stacks at 40%, lasts for 6 seconds. It's actually okay. Been nice if it had higher all defense down, but I'm glad it lasts for 6 seconds. His 4 skill has a 5-second immunity to all damage, which is nice. Unfortunately, because Starlord doesn't have super armor, he can be guard broken, but he does use a lot of iframes, so it's not a massive concern with this guy. And his 5th skill has a long iframe, and this thing is absolutely beautiful. It has damage accumulation based on how much damage you deal, plus you can cancel this skill and cancel the 3rd skill. And it works really well in your rotation because you're able to use this damage accumulation with your tier 3, plus you get a 45% increase of all attack for 10 seconds. Pretty massive, pretty massive. His passive gives an ignore target dodge rate by 40%, which is wonderful, especially against Corvus. We'll showcase that today. And his leadership went from 45% to 55% with this uniform. And let's preview his skills. Now, Starlord's animations, I think, look pretty dope. His 5th skill, this thing is beautiful. Look at that thing. It is beautiful. And there you see that nice damage accumulation. The 4th skill, it has immunity to all damage, but it does go into an iframe almost immediately, so that does help from keep from getting guard broken. But at the end of the skill, it can be guard broken. But it's really not a massive deal, honestly, when you're playing with them. And then the 3. And the cool thing about the 3 is you get the all defense down immediately. When you hit that 3, look at that. You get the all defense down as soon as the element hits the opponents. Now for the tier 3, we'll check this thing out here. And this is beautiful. And I've noticed that you really can't cancel this thing. And it has that sweet all defense down. That starts off at 30%. Goes into 70%. You can do some cheeky stuff and throw in Dr. Voodoo for a leadership or White Fox for a leadership and really bump up his all defense down like crazy, which we will show today. So the rotation I like to do is I like to hit the 3, cancel on the 5, and then into the 4. Hopefully get the damage proc on the 4. And look at that. You get all that residual damage from the 5. You'll get the all defense down from the 3. It lasts for 6 seconds. It works out pretty nice. But honestly, most of Starlord's damage is going to come from his tier 3. And then while I have that immunity up, I'll go ahead and hit the 2 skill and the 1 skill real quick. And I'll run around a little bit, and then I'll just hit the 3 and the 4. The reason I just hit the 3 and the 4 is because the 5 has a 10-second cooldown. And because of that long cooldown, you're going to have to rotate your rotations to where you'll use the 5th skill in the first rotation, then you'll use just the 3 and the 4, and so you'll use 3, 5, 4 in the first rotation, then in the second rotation it'll be 3, 4. And then right before you use your tier 3, you'll hit your 5th skill, cancel into the tier 3, you'll get all that damage accumulation with all that all defense down with your tier 3 all at once with your damage proc. I can tell all of you with a CTP of Rage, he would be a lot better and a lot easier to play because they put that damn long cooldown on his 5th skill. This really sucks that it's a 10-second cooldown. A Rage would definitely be optimal for him, but it doesn't mean he isn't good with a damage proc. He's actually pretty decent if properly played because the 4th skill has a 7-second cooldown. You have this immunity for 5 seconds. You can keep him alive for the most part, but he is pretty fragile. He can die pretty easy. Kind of reminds me of Magneto in that way, but Magneto does have a 3-second paralysis on his 3rd skill, which really helps with his survivability. He has a fully awakened Power of Angry Hawk set, and I did that for a reason because for Beta Ray Bill showing, I didn't have any ruse. He was level 60, but I did have a fully awakened ISO 8 set, and I did have a CTP of energy on Beta Ray Bill, and we also have a CTP of energy on Starlord. And the nice thing about Starlord is the fact that he gets 40% ignore dodge from his passive. He's going to get another 32% from the CTP of energy, so he's already rocking 72% ignore dodge. So he's pretty much has enough ignore dodge to already go against Corvus. And I'll show you something else in a second. His uniform is just at normal. And the uniform effect is meh. You know, guaranteed dodge rate of 30%. Gives him an extra chance to dodge, but that's about it. And then the nice thing about Starlord, especially with that ignore dodge, is, whoops, didn't mean to do that, is, you know, you can use Taskmaster with him because he has the Weapon Masters going on. And if we go to Taskmaster, if I can find him. Where are you at, buddy? Where are you at? There you are. If you go to Taskmaster, you know, Starlord's going to get this extra 20% ignore target dodge rate, which is going to bump him up to over almost 90% ignore dodge. He won't get this guaranteed critical rate because Starlord already has it in his passive. And of course, you know, Taskmaster's, you know, got the uniform effect, but this isn't only unique to Starlord, it's unique to all allies. Or not unique, but it applies to all allies, so it doesn't really matter. So let's get out of here, and let's go into some World Boss. Now, I've already pre-recorded a nice little special run for all of you, but we'll take on Cull first here. We'll do Stage 50, and we're going to do Stage 50 because the rewards don't really get better after Stage 50. You get the red booty boxes, and this is pretty much the stages that I always play. And since we did Stage 50 with Beta Ray Bill, I thought we'd do it with Starlord. And we're going to use Taskmaster, and I'll explain why. We're going to use Shuri because she's going to give him that 35% decreased damage received from supervillains, as well as the 45% increase to damage to supervillains. And of course, we're going to use Starlord for his 55% energy attack leadership. And we're not going to use any strikers except for a heal, and let's see how old boy does. Hopefully I can keep the proc where it belongs. Now it's tricky playing against Cull, especially without any kind of mind control, because Cull will do his cleansing crap, but we'll do our best. So I'm just going to try to hit the 3, 5, and then do the 4. Run over here, 3, 5, 4. The proc triggered on the 5. But no big deal, we're going to hit the 2, 1 while we have our immunity. Run away, run away. Now we're going to hit our 3, 4. Okay, there's our immunity. Now we're going to wait. He's going to throw out his cleansing attacks here. There we go. He's going to do it one more time. Now we're going to hit the 5 and then the tier 3. There we go. Now look at the damage. And I mean, it's not bad. And then afterwards I go into the 3, 4, 2, 1. Then I run away, run away, run away. I wait for the 4 to get off almost cooldown. Go into 3, 5, 4 again. Look at that. Look at that. Now we're going to wait. There we go. He's going to do this little attack again. He'll do it one more time. We'll hit our 5, our tier 3. I mean, Starlord has got some power. I mean, considering he doesn't have any Urus, and he's got a normal uni. I mean, he's not maxed out by any means, but he's actually putting out a pretty decent amount of damage. Now, it isn't nothing like Beta Ray Bill, but Beta Ray Bill, I mean, let's be honest. They really, really buffed him. Okay, you're going to do your attack, buddy. You're going to do your attack. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. He's going to do it one more time. Come on. Okay, let's get him. There we go. I was waiting until he did that purple attack. But man, that damage is pretty sweet. And you can do some cheeky stuff with those Starlord too, because if your conquer level is high enough, you can start throwing in weapon hex, because the all defense down will stack. With Starlord's all defense down, it will stack. We're just going to go into the iframe so we don't take any damage. I hit the tier 3. I don't think we didn't get the proc. Nope. I wasted that tier 3. But you all get the idea. He can easily do stage 50. We have over 3 minutes left. No problem. And let me show you something. I'll try to do this, you know, but it can be pretty tough with a little timing. But we'll put weapon hex in there. Now, my resist level is at 119. Recommend is 275. So, hopefully we can get this in the very beginning. We'll try. Let's go ahead. Nah, we'll do this. We'll try this. We'll try this. Now, I'm going to try this, but the thing is, we got to get Weapon X to come in first and apply our all defense down before we do ours. And that's the tricky thing. And that's another reason a rage would be better. Because if you had a rage, you could easily hit your fist skill, get Weapon Hex to come in and do her attacks, right? Now we're going to wait. We're going to wait. He's going to do his attacks. Okay, let's see if we got it. Pretty good amount of damage. I don't think we got the all defense down right there, to be perfectly honest. I don't think we did. We'll try it again. And now because the conquer level isn't high enough, we probably won't be getting the all defense down from her. So we're going to run around. Now I'm going to try to hit my 3-4. Get that proc to trigger. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Man, look at that. Yeah, actually, I think we did get it to apply. Now, see there, we got down to the same amount in almost a minute less time. So we were able to get Weapon Hex in there. It just wasn't perfect. But if you were running with the Rage and you didn't have to worry about a damage proc, you could hit the fist skill after Cull's, you know, after he does all his cleansing crap. You could hit the fist skill, wait a little bit, wait for Weapon Hex to come in and strike, and then use your tier 3. And buddy, because that all defense down from Starlord's tier 3 happens almost immediately, and you would get the 100% all defense down. It's pretty sweet, but you got to make sure your conquer level is low enough that that's actually going to work. Now let's go into Corvus here, stage 70. And this is what's so nice. Right now, Starlord has about 90% ignore dodge going on. So we're just going to run with this team. We'll try to use Rachel to hopefully get a little mind control. But I just want to give you all an idea of how strong he is right now. Now, the biggest thing about Starlord is just really keeping him alive. Now, if you had a Rage, the rotation would be different. But when you're trying to do optimal damage, this is really how you want to do it. Trying to get all that residual damage from the fist skill with the all defense down from the 3. And the damage from the 4. There's that tier 3. Come on, get him. Now, if Corvus gets too far away, we won't get Okay, I need to get down here. Run, 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 run. I wish Starlord was a little bit faster. That is a bit of a criticism I do have here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Run, 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 run. Get away from him. Get away, get away. Alright, I think I got the damage proc on the tier 3. Looks like it. Oh, yeah, I definitely did. And you can see that the damage is pretty good. It's pretty damn good. Come on. Come on. Got him again. Got him again. I mean, if you can do the first phase in 2 minutes, you're doing pretty damn good. You're doing pretty good. Come on. And you can definitely see that he can definitely do the first phase in 2 minutes. So stage 70, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's decent, you know. But with Urus, with a mythic uniform, with a CTP of Rage, he's going to be a lot stronger. Seriously, this guy, especially having that ignore dodge in his passive, and he gets a 50% damage reduction from Corvus because he's a blast type character. So that's just something to think about. You know, I mean, Starlord is a decent tier 3. He's not a tier 3 that I don't think anybody really needs. And to all you Starlord fans out there, I mean, I don't mean that in some negative way. It's just right now with the content in the game, I just don't think anybody really needs him. But he is fun to play. I wish he didn't have that long cooldown on the fist skill. That really sucks. So what we're going to do is have a little fun against Cull, and we're actually going to go against a stage 80 to show just what this guy really can do. And I'm going to move Starlord over there, and I'm going to put in Dr. Voodoo, and then I'm going to put Nimrod in there. And Dr. Voodoo is going to have this nice all debuff effect by 40%, and Nimrod is going to, you know, start his all defense down at 20%, actually higher because of the 40% all debuff effect leadership from Dr. Voodoo. But what's going to happen in here is we're going to get 100% all defense down pretty much immediately. So we're going to throw in Sharon. We're going to throw an Ancient One because he's going to be using a debuff removal, which means that we won't be taking damage from the poison, which is really good. And the bleed whenever the debuff is in effect. And then we're going to put in Silver Surfer and Thanos. And this part of the video I did pre-record because it did take me a few tries, but not too many. So let's get into the action and let's rock and roll. Now, to give you an idea of how strong Starlord is, I did the same thing with Magneto, used the same team, except I was using Deadpool instead of Nimrod, but it's still going to be all defense down the same way. And Magneto was doing stage 90 with a CTP of Rage, a fully maxed out build, Urus, all that good stuff, fully maxed out, whereas Starlord here, his gears are only at 20, he has no Urus, his uniform is at normal, and he's using a CTP of Energy versus a CTP of Rage. Now we're doing 10 stages less, but I'm pretty confident that if you was to slap all that stuff on Starlord that I had on Magneto, we would probably be able to do stage 90. I'd almost bet money on it. Because look at the way he's barreling through this. Watch how much damage we do whenever we hit that all defense down. Here we go. You saw it once. It's going to be a party. Look at that. Look, and it's really cool. You get that giant burst of damage at the beginning. Then he slows down a little bit. And then you get a giant burst of damage at the end too. You're still gradually getting damage through the middle, but man, at the very beginning and the end, it's pretty awesome. I mean, how much damage you're actually getting. And this is pretty cool. I mean, you have to admit, it's pretty cool. I mean, yes, it sucks the way that Netmarble Monster threw Starlord at us. It'd really been nicer if everybody would have just had a choice as to whether or not they want to tier 3 this guy, instead of using him as a way of using all of our resources to get Beta Ray Bill. I mean, that does put, you know, a lot of salt on the wound, but Starlord in itself as a character is actually fairly strong. He's a pretty good tier 3. Do we need him? No, probably not. But there's a lot of characters we really don't need at this point, to be perfectly honest. With over 200 characters in the roster, that's just the truth of it. But I was really surprised that he was able to do this. And it really wasn't that hard. It took me about 3 tries, so that's not that awful many. Now, I know this is just something that everybody's going to do, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And another thing is that 4 has that little bit of an iframe, and, you know, so it's going to cancel whenever Cull is doing that purple attack. Whenever Cull starts to do that purple attack and use the 4 skill, you're going to get the immunity, but you're also going to cancel Cull from doing that skill, which is pretty sweet. Come on, buddy. We just got to time this right. And like I feel super confident he could do stage 90, just like Magneto. So if he's as strong as Magneto, which is pretty much what I'm thinking, then yeah, he's a pretty strong tier 3. I mean, he is. Now, you know, as to whether or not any of you think he's worth tier 3, that's up to you, but I can't deny, man, he's pretty strong, guys. We did stage 80 in less than 3 minutes. Less than 3 minutes. So, yeah, with a fully maxed out build, I feel he's going to do stage 90, maybe even more, which is pretty crazy, even with this kind of team. So, let me know what you're thinking about Starlord, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.